Well, it is that time of year again. CNBC is out with our Disruptor 50, a list of 50 companies shaking up their industry and reforming the way they operate. Number 28 on this year's list is no stranger to our Fast Money crypto audience. Ripple making its debut on the Disruptor 50 list. CEO Brad Garlinghouse joins us now. Brad, great to see you again. Welcome back to Fast Money.
Thank you for having me. It's great to see you again, despite the weird times.
Yeah, very strange times indeed. On this day that you debut on the Disruptor 50 list, you're also making an announcement yourself in terms of your backing of PayID. Can you explain what this is and why this sort of simplifies how crypto had transferred money in the past?
Now, let's say you're sending from an exchange Uphold to Bank X, and Bank X also implemented PayID. I mean, it can contain crypto addresses, but can also include bank account numbers, whatever. It's like an address book. It's only the destination, not the actual transfer that's still happening on the rails underneath. So let's say you want to send 100 USD value from Uphold to Bank X. You request like, hey, give me all pay IDs for this user, and Bank X says you can deposit over the XRPL or whatever in the destination tag or ILP, and we require travel rule compliance. So we want to know who the user is, who the sending user is. So now there's another message from Uphold to Bank X containing the information about the user, and only then there's an OK and the actual transfer can be made to the destination that was already communicated in the first request, in the first PayID request. Now, this makes a lot of sense when you transfer from one exchange to another exchange or from one exchange to a bank because they provide services to KYC users. But what about if they request, if like travel rule compliance information is mandatory, which it will probably be some days.
The digital clone.
The Senate Banking Committee has voted on a party line 13-12 to advance the nomination of Judy Shelton, a conservative economist, to serve on the Federal Reserve Board. She was a controversial pick by President Trump more than a year ago because she had advocated a return to the gold standard and had criticized the Federal Reserve's actions and had faced tough questions from the committee in recent months over whether she truly believed that the Federal Reserve should remain an independent regulator. She has provided questions in writing, according to the Senate Banking Chair, Mike Crapo, that she does believe in the Fed's independence. She does not advocate for a return to the gold standard, and she has won the support of the committee and will now advance to a full Senate vote. That is Judy Shelton, the nominee to the Federal Reserve.
What's up, everybody? It's St. Flossie here, and I'm coming at you with episode 1 of the 4 Horsemen. In this series, I'm going to be looking at XRP, VeChain, ADA, and XLM. In my opinion, 4 of the biggest future cryptocurrencies in the world. And, you know, these are second, third gen tech blockchains, and I think that, you know, in years to come, these are going to be, you know, your top 10 crypto. ADA and XRP, obviously already in the top 10. Stellar and VeChain, I think they're soon to be next. So in this episode, we're going to focus mostly on XRP. Now, this article is from February 14th, 2020, but I still want to highlight this in light of everything going on. So, Ripple's network is, you know, supporting 70 plus countries. So you got United States, United Kingdom, Mexico, Philippines, France, Spain, Australia, Ireland, Iceland, and Sweden. Then you got Finland, Norway, Italy, Germany. The list goes on and on. It's a pretty long list of countries, and these are very big countries. I know that they're also in China. They might not have, you know, any live, you know, networks going on in China just because of everything, you know, the tension between U.S. But I know they're definitely China. I believe that once, you know, SBI goes 100%, then that's when a lot of those, you know, Japanese corridors are going to be quote unquote live. But you know, they already have the framework and they've been testing. But I always try to like get this through to people, like there's so many different companies that basically have the best intentions for XRP. You got R3, you know, there's all this FUD saying like they're not going to settle in XRP. Of course they're going to use XRP. You got SBI, another massive company. They're going to be settling in XRP. And then you got Ripple. So you got three massive companies all, you know, basically advocating for this digital asset. And together, between Ripple, SBI, and R3, that reach is global. And there's a lot of money behind it, a lot of power. So another thing I want to focus on. Now, I'm sure a lot of you already know this, but Ripple has connections to a lot of companies, honestly. There's countless connections to Google, like Google Capital, Google Ventures. I believe Google Ventures is one of their early investors from quite a while ago. Connection to Google Pay, Apple Pay. It would be nice to find a solid Apple connection. I'm sure there is. Tencent, a massive company in China. I believe it's like a video game publishing company, or it might be a developer, but it's a massive company. Paytm, Instacart, Amazon. I believe there's a connection to Amazon Web Services. Stripe, which is kind of like Square. I think it's like a payment service thing. They have a confirmed partnership with American Express. We know that. Santander. Then of course you know there's Earthport, connections to MasterCard, Visa, Airbnb, Uber, Lyft. Like, it's just too many connections to ignore, too many partnerships to ignore. Now, if you think that VeChain has a lot of partnerships, then you haven't seen anything, because XRP is honestly one of the most partnered, you know, blockchains in the world. Yet the price is moving sideways. Now, why is that? And you just have to think about everything XRP is set out to do. Like, do you think they're just gonna make it plain and simple? Like, if XRP was constantly going up in price, $1, $2, $10, $20, people are gonna catch on, and people are gonna FOMO, especially when they look into everything that XRP is doing. Like, they don't want that. I firmly believe in something like the Shane Ellis theory, a flip of a switch, where 90% of the people are going to be priced out instantly. Now, that means it's just going to be a hodl. It's going to be a long haul, and you know, I'm fine with that. There's plenty of other cryptos out there that are making me money, and you know, it's just something that you got to keep in mind. You know, you could be holding for a few years, but the thing is, I know a lot of people are frustrated because they already have been. But if just looking at everything happening this week, banks being allowed to, you know, given the green light by the OCC to hold crypto. Like Brad was saying it in, 2008. I know he was about a year off. He said that banks would hold crypto by this date. He's about a year off, and banks may not necessarily rush to start holding these assets, but the green light is what we need. So now that they have the green light, then next you hear the announcements, and you hear TD Bank holding crypto, Bank of America. Like it's slowly gonna happen, and Corona definitely, I would say, sped that up, because last year, my mind was, okay, so if we're gonna get to this point, then at 2021 we need to, have Congress talking about digital assets, this and this and that, and obviously I'm thinking, we're probably looking at 2021 because you know how they move, but that's honestly, it's been happening a lot faster. I think Corona really sped everything up, and now Congress is already talking and writing letters, concerning blockchain, and now we're getting there. 2021 is might be a really good year, and I just want everybody to just try to think of everything on a long-term scale. Like, yeah, so what that everything else is moving, XRP is not. Like, don't hold all your eggs in one basket. It's a long haul. I know it kind of sucks. And like I said, if you think about just everything that they want to do and everything they want to capture, which is all of the money, they're not going to make it plain and easy. Of course they're going to FUD it. they fudded Bitcoin. Like, Bitcoin is everybody's favorite crypto, and think about how much they fudded that. Like, they said, oh, don't buy it, don't buy it, don't buy it. All the banks and, you know, JP Morgan telling you it's a scam, it's a fraud, it's this and that. But what are they doing? They're buying it up. So if they fudded Bitcoin, you don't think they're going to FUD XRP? Like, come on now. Okay, so one of the reasons why I put the clips of Pay ID, it was announced earlier this year, and I think it's a really, 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 really huge, you know, a huge deal that I don't think people realize. So, as you can see, you have SCPA. I'm pretty sure that's like a banking language. Bitcoin, Visa, and whatever this at name is. So, basically, you know, with Pay ID, it's gonna be easier for your grandma, your auntie, your mom, and your dad to use this type of stuff, because now they're not gonna have to send you. They're not gonna have to copy and paste a long address and like all this confusing stuff. All they're gonna need is something just like this, and that's exactly what people need. You know, the newbies need for mainstream adoption. They need something simple and easy, and something that's gonna not scare them. So you got to think, between Pay ID, banks being allowed to hold crypto, you got to think that's huge, because not only are people going to be able to send it to each other easily, think about how many people are going to feel that much safer that they can hold their Bitcoin in a TD Bank or JP Morgan account. It's really big, guys. So, finally, I wish I had the bearable bull voice so I can say this as dramatically as possible, but I'm extremely monotone, so I can't. Okay, so this is, you know, a Bitcoin chart, and the reason I pulled this up is because this is following the bull and the bear cycle. As you can see, 2012, 2014, bull cycle. Uptrend. 2014, 2015, you got the downtrend. Then 2015 to 2016, 2017, 2018, you got that uptrend again. 2018 and 2019, this is what we just got out of, okay? And in the beginning of 2019 was the uptrend. Still kind of going sideways, but really haven't, you know, got towards the top yet. This is where we are now. Just about we just passed the Bitcoin halving. And as you can see, we should be, you know, going to make new highs. And I firmly believe that we're going to follow this cycle. Now, we followed this cycle not once, but twice. And I firmly believe we're going to do it a third time. And everything that's happening now, I believe that, you know. Except for XRP. I mean, here's what I'm thinking. If Bitcoin, say it does make these new crazy highs to 25,000, 15,000, it's going to bring XRP with it. I think it's like XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin just tightly move together. That's just a fact. And if Bitcoin does make, you know, these new highs up here, XRP is going to benefit from it. You know, but what is that going to be? If Bitcoin goes past $20,000 again, then, you know, we could see XRP at $1. You know, I am hoping for the days where, you know, XRP isn't correlated with Bitcoin anymore, where it's basically follows its own pattern. You know, we might be a ways off from that, but you never know. But this still is a pretty good chart just to keep in mind. You know, cycles don't always repeat exactly, but they, you know, they rhyme. And as you can see, we followed that same pattern not once, but twice. And we're most likely going to do that again. So just keep that in mind. So finally, as you guys know, in my last video, I said I'd be giving away 1K VeChain to someone who commented on the video and liked and subscribed. And I definitely picked a winner. And the person who I picked to win is this guy right here, HH. And he said, "Nice to see your enthusiasm for VET. Something to consider for you and the rest of your V fam on your channel. VET approximately 0.017 cents. VETO 0.0018, meaning price ratio is about 10%. For every 2,300 VET held, you generate approximately 1 VETO per day, or $360 per year. Assuming VET is in $1 in price, that would mean in a 2,300 investment would result in $36 per year. 1.5 APY, 63 years just to get your investment back. What does this tell us? Either A, VET is overvalued, or B, VETO is undervalued. I agree with this statement, that VETO is undervalued. So I think the latter is true. B, no serious investor is going to get out of bed for 1.5 APY. Least of all in such a high risk area such as crypto, so we can expect VET VETO price ratio to increase from its current to 10 to at least 25 to 30 to give a more respectable APY of around 5%. As such, one strategy might be to accumulate VETO now and swap it for VET once the ratio is more generous. As always, do your own research, but it's something to think about. Maybe you can explore and make a video addressing this. And that's a good idea. And HH, sir, you have won that VeChain, so I'll be sending that to you. Make sure you reach out to me. You can reach out to me on Telegram or something, so send me a screenshot so I can just prove to all the viewers that you got the VeChain. Or you can just comment in this video and say, hey, I got it, get thanks, or whatever. Because, I want people to see that you're going to get the crypto. So, yeah, but good point. VETO, I definitely think is undervalued. I just bought like 100K VETO for like 100-something bucks. It's definitely smart to have just as much VETO as you have VeChain. Because you got to think, right now, Neo is what, $10? VeChain most certainly can be $10. And gas is like what, $1.30? So, do the math. VeChain probably got more utility than Neo does at this point, so which means it's just undervalued right there. So when VeChain is $10, then you already know VETO is gonna follow that same pattern, especially so much VETO is burned. But definitely a great point, and that's why I chose to choose you as the winner. But I definitely appreciate all you guys for commenting. Definitely means a lot. So that's it for this video, guys. I'm gonna get out of here. Stay tuned next week for episode 2 of the 4 Horsemen, when I'm gonna be talking about VeChain. I might talk about Cardano or Stellar just because I've been making a lot of VeChain videos lately, and I don't guys want to VeChain you to death. But I appreciate all the love and support, and I'll see you guys next time.